Hello, hello, hello. It must be Tuesday night because I'm here in digital purgatory and you've joined me to suffer the indignities of being a unknown on YouTube, where content is irrelevant. No matter how good you do it, or poor in my case, no one's going to see it because this is where we're at. Oh, it's cold out there tonight. Andrew's in, he says hello, evening, indeed. Renee's in. Everyone's saying hello to each other, and Renee says he's having a nice Scotch whisky, single malt. And they're talking whisky. Oh dear, that's not right, is it? That's not right. I've got a very old bottle of whisky, which I'm saving in the cupboard. A very old bottle of whisky, which might be worth about £500, £600. I got it gifted to me when I left a job. I left my main job back in the turn of the millennia, and I've kept hold of it. I was going to open it on the birth of my first child, but it was just I'd have been drinking on my own because it was a difficult birth, and so it didn't feel appropriate. It was tricky. And then when Herb came along, again I'd have been drinking on my own again. So because you can't give your missus a whiskey when she's just given birth, can you? It doesn't seem right. So it's in the cupboard, gathering dust, accruing value over time, I hope. I stopped talking when I entered a room. No, you can't. If you're talking to me, Renee, I don't know. He might invite you around. Oh, here we go. So yeah, it's a bit fresh out there tonight. I should stop doing that. Yeah, Payne's in. It's a good evening. Good evening. I'm glad there's some life out there. Even though there are people in, they're talking to each other. They're just coming to hang out. My presence is irrelevant. Again, irrelevant to them. God damn it. How did this come to be? What did I do wrong? Renee says, wow, Darren, it'll almost be 35 years. Well, it was old. It was I'd have to dig out the cupboard, but it's at the back of a cupboard. I can't remember the brand now, but it's a good brand. And I can't. Oh dear, I used to remember it. Let's look up. If I look up, how would I find the name? Whiskey Auctions, maybe. If I look up Whiskey Auctions, that might Whiskey Auctions. If I see some names, then I'll get the. I'll understand. I'll see auctions. Oh, you got the December. I'm looking. Oh, you got to register. That's no good. That's no good. About this one. There was one that had a. Where is it? Macallan. That's it. Macallan. And it was old when I got it. It was like one of those 10-year-old ones when I got it in 2000. So it's come up to nearly 30. Yeah, like you said, nearly 35 years old. So it was a Macallan. But it's not one of the fancy ones. It's more of the, But it was an expensive bottle back at the time. It was. I remember it being. I was very impressed with it. That they liked me so much to buy me a bottle of Macallan to get rid of me. That really warmed me cockles, as it were. I mean, crikey! I didn't. The last job, the IPC, I didn't even get a leaving card. They thought of me so well then, but then I don't think that was the culture. They were a strange lot at IPC. They were a strange bunch, not very welcoming, but there you go. It was a strange, strange time. Oh, what's going on there? That's no good, is it? Payne says, did I watch the Rick Wakeman interview with Beto? Yeah, again, a lot of the stories I'd already heard. The meeting the Queen Mum, I knew that story. But yeah, it was all right. I mean, again, Rick Wakeman's a fairly easy person to interview. It didn't really, there's no real new insights other than how to microphone a harpsichord. It's like, really? We're doing that? Really? Because Beato's pretty, it's a pretty crap interview. But he got his dream interview. He got the Gilmore one. Can you believe that? He managed to get the Gilmore interview. So that's going to be up there with the recent Jimmy Fallon interview, where Fallon just wet himself. Again, no new insights. You'll just get, what's your favourite brand of guitar strings, if you're lucky. You won't get. And when did you realise that Roger Waters was a massive anti-Semite? Yeah, you won't get that. You won't get that depth. You won't get that depth. So yeah. Oh, Macallan is a Scottish brand, I believe. Payne says David McCallum. No, it's Macallan. Macallan, not McCallum. But David McCallum was the Invisible Man. I remember that show. It used to give me the eebies when he, took his wig off and disappeared. He used to, give me the eebies. It did. So there we go. Oh dear. So I kind of rushed. I rushed on the dog walk tonight to get back, because I was a little bit late going out, because Herb was a little bit late. I had to say goodnight to Herb, and then get back again. It was like, ooh, I had to rush. It's a bit fresh out there tonight. Get a bit cold. Get a bit cold out there. So I've got to warm up, haven't I? I've got to warm my cockles up. But yeah. What else should we talk about? Anyone got any topics? Or should we just sit here and slag off Beto for a while? Could do that. I do find a lot of YouTube completely facile though. It's not a lot going on. Andrew says it's freezing cold. What, down in Cornwall? My goodness. Mind you, there is a guitar. I don't know. Let's start with guitars. Shall we do guitars first? What the hell? Let's do it, because I've seen my latest guitar. Oh crikey, there's only 8 left. I better get in and get one. For it is, I don't know if you've all have been paying attention. They've reissued it, folks. What is it? It's the Hello Kitty Squire. He's back. There you go. What do you reckon? Do you fancy it? Do you fancy one? There's a part of me wants to get one just as a collectible, because they do go up in price. A couple of years that'll be worth at least 800 quid. And seeing as that's on Guitar, most of the stock's almost gone. I mean, shocking. I was heartened to see that. And there's also Hello Kitty effects pedals as well. There's a fuzz pedal as well, if you so wish. So there you go, if you like that kind of thing. I like unusual instruments, that are out of the ordinary as a collectible. So yeah. Renee says, I've got my big jumper on. It's cold here. I'm rocking the t-shirt because, like I said, I just came back and I was hot, so I flung my t-shirt, my jumper off in in Gaia band, and my 28-year-old 28-year-old jumper, or whatever it is, the one that's all frayed around the edges. I've got a number of jumpers that I bought many years ago, and I've never got rid of them. They're still holding up. I can't see why. I can't see why I should. I'll just be a bit raggedy around the edges, you know, because, well, but I am, aren't I, you know? But yeah. Payne says, yeah, we lost the clouds and it went cold. Well, I think, again, what the cloud cover does is it provides an insulation, so a lot of the air flow, a lot of the warm air kind of gets trapped within the cloud cover, and once the cloud goes, it goes, all the warmth dissipates into the sky. But that's why we were getting a few misty days, I think, because you had the conflicting fronts. You know, it was warm and cold, and convection fog, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. It's quite pleasant out. It's not, you know, it didn't have that bitter, icy wind. You know, when that comes in, it really, I don't like it. I'm beginning to get aches and pains. I got a really bad twinge in my big toe on Sunday when I was walking with the dog, and I was hobbling along. I think it's the cold. It affects everything. So, indeed, very nice indeed. Payne says, I saw the latest PRS Dragon on the Anton's channel. Probably wouldn't be buy it even if I had the cash. If I bought it, won't be played. Oh yeah, to be frank, I've seen. I wish I could love PRSs. You know, I wish I could love PRS guitars. Have guitar. I got one. I don't know why. I prefer guitar because they have they got it? Yes, they have got it. This is, again, the pictures don't really do it justice. This is just an amazing designed instrument. They've done them before, I believe. It's nearly £19,000. You get a fiver change at 19 grand, and you know, it's all right. It's got the wrap over tail piece there, and it's got some fancy shit, you know. Yeah, that might get you a better idea. But I've got a PRS that's just like that. I've got one just like, no, I haven't. But I've got a PRS as part of the Harwood collection, which, again, I'm in a love-hate relationship with it. Because I like it as an idea, but I don't love it as an instrument to play. I can't. It's the clubby neck. Again, this is why I'm not a big fan of Gibsons. And there's a part of me thinks, oh, get another Gibson. Try Gibson again. Maybe you can, you know. But they just have such clubby necks. I just can't get into them, you know. I like the Fender aesthetic when it comes to necks. I mean, the clubbiest neck I've got is that Jazzmaster there, because it's a bit of a thick one, you know. But I tolerate it. I tolerate it because it's an unusual. You know, it's the gold foil pickup one. I tolerate it, you know. But yes, Payne says radiative cooling is called. I knew that. I studied it at Geography A level. Shame it didn't come up in the exam. Let it lie, Darren. Let it lie. No, I can't let it lie. They taught us the wrong syllabus, and when we got the exam, we all failed. I can never forget it. I revised really hard for that exact A level. God damn it. Rene says, so you've heard about the riots in Amsterdam. Me, a Dutchman, I'm embarrassed. Well, I don't really. Was it run out of clogs? I'm not sure. Was it somebody stole a really large Edam cheese? Some windmills fell over? I don't know what caused it. Oh, let me think. Is it immigration by any chance? Is it anti-Semitic stuff? Look, I don't really. I don't know. It's too complicated. It's politics. It's all politics. The problem is religion. There you go. Andrew asked, was anybody no, I mean, but there were some hurt feelings and some bruised egos went out when we got served the wrong A-level paper. And, you know, but I don't know. I've never recovered. I've never really got over it. He's talking about Amsterdam, but frankly, you know, if they want to knock 7 shades of Chanel over each other, then let them do it. Football match. Well, it's football, isn't it? Football. Because isn't Gert Wilders Isn't he in control now? He's like the Dutch Nigel Farage, but worser. Netherlands. Let's see what the news says. Because I've not really followed it. Netherlands joins Germany implementing extra border checks. Good for you. Israeli football fans and the violence in Amsterdam. What we know. Well, I'm not going to read The Guardian because they'll blame it on the Israelis and say it's because of Israel. Have we got any other? But yeah, anti-Semitism. Warnings of new calls for unrest after violence in Israel. Full coverage. So I'm just trying to get an idea of it. Police detain pro-Palestinian protesters at a banned demonstration. Dutch Jewish group leader slams Israeli hooligans. So he's saying it's the Israelis that caused the trouble. So yes, it seems like it. Everyone's, again, it's football. Everyone's out. Nobody cares, do they, about football? Is it what they say it is, Rene? Is it what they say it is? As my man on the ground, what really happened? Because it's hard to get the news, the real news, because you've got, depending on which political perspective it is, again, if it's The Guardian, very anti-Israel, very pro-Palestinian, it's the Jews' fault. If it's a more right-leaning publication, it's the pro-Palestinians, you know. So, as an atheist, I don't care. Let them all kill each other. Oh, all those atheists say. What about all those atheists causing all those world wars? Say, I don't know. Do you remember when all those atheists went on the Crusades into the Middle East? Do you remember that? No, me neither. So yeah, what's that? We've alienated our Netherlands contingent and the Jewish contingent and the pro-Palestinians too, all in one fell swoop. How did you manage to do that, man? Good job, no one's watching, isn't it? And it good job. I'd have been cancelled several times. I'd have been. Oh dear. What can you do, eh? Thankfully, nobody's watching. Well, someone's watching. As I've just noticed then. Someone's watching. Ah dear. It's a funny old world, isn't it? Ain't it a funny old world that we live in? It's a funny old world. You'd think we'd all get along by now, wouldn't you? You think we'd all learn to get along? Yeah? Wouldn't you think that? What can we do? Let's come up with a cure for all this. Let's come up with world peace. I think we can do that. Can we do that? Can we? Do you reckon we can solve? Can we solve the problem? No, not in the live stream. Not tonight. When no one's talking, I'm just babbling on my own. It carries on like that. I'm just going to end up talking about the things I've watched this week on the television. Oh yes. Oh, Tetris Forever launch trailer from the Switch. It's just dropped. Could be interesting. Could be interesting. I might like to. Look at that. Dum 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 dum. Do 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 do. Do do do. Do 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 do. What if I just close my eyes for 5 minutes? What do you think anyone notice? Oh dear. I'm thinking of doing all the guitar stuff first. You know, I normally do it at the end. Should we do the guitar stuff first, and then I'll talk about some films and some TV that I've watched, and then what I'll do is I'll record that and then upload it separately. So then I'm not wasting my time because no one will see it here, but then I can, you see, think smart. You know, think smart, work smart, Darren. Payne says, how about people treat each other as they would want to have others treat them? Well, I want you all to give me loads of money, so give me loads of money, folks. Because I'm going to become a right-wing grifter. I say, ban them all. Ban them all. Anyone with a beard, we should ban them. Yeah, those dodgy men with beards. What's that? Oh shit. Oh fuck, I bollocksed it all up already. Oh, I'm just not good at this grifting lark. If only I could figure it out. But remember, you can buy, oh, sorry, wrong way. You can buy one of these limited edition prog CDs that features EchoNet for the princely sum of £5 from my Bandcamp page. Everything must go. I was having a tidy because basically we're drowning in crap. There's a great song called House Full of Shit. You should go and watch it. I've just been deregulated because I said the word shit. Shit happens. Great song. A house full of shit. What we're going to do? We have to buy another house. Great song. Love that song. Go and look it up. It's a very good song. And that's what we're in. We're in a house full of shit. So I was having a tidy and putting some stuff on eBay. There's a lot of kids' toys and loads of. If you want some slightly used kids' toys, check out my eBay page because everything must go on the Great Lock Sale. And I found 3 copies of the prog CD in a dusty corner. Literally, it was. It's like Raiders of the Lost Ark. It was. And then my heart sank as I remembered the whole Farrago that was. Man, that was a rip-off. Somebody said it on Facebook. They said that sounds like a Swizz. I'm thinking, yeah, do you know what? It was a Swizz. I was supposed to get my half-page feature in Prog magazine, but Jerry Ewing decided not to. To think we worked together at Dennis Publishing. We worked together across each other. Thanks, Jerry. You know, I remember you trying to get me into PFM and handing me, was it photos of ghosts on cassette? And I listened to it and went, oh, that was a load of rubbish. But I handed it back and went, yeah, very interesting. Pretended to like it, and we did a little. He took me like a father figure type thing. He was trying to seduce me into the world of Italian prog grooming. It was a form of grooming. I saw right through him. I did. Saw right through him. He never did any work. He was always working on his external projects. He was on a fantastic gig there. He won't mind me saying that. He could get away with it. But yeah, it was Dennis, where the guy who bullied me, he ended up going mad during COVID and topping himself. God pays debts. Didn't see that one coming. Yeah. But there you go. Ban them all. Yeah, ban the Baldies too, exactly. Send cash. Absolutely, Robert. Sue says, how's the college girl doing? She's asleep. She's in bed. She has to go to bed. Send her to bed. It's early to say, really. She keeps thinking that she doesn't want to do it anymore because she was a bit burnt out by the GCSE thing, and that burnt her out because she worked really hard on her GCSEs and it showed in her results. Apart from art, but we don't like talking about that because it seems that her art teacher deliberately marked her down. And one of the art teachers has said, do you want to see your marking notes? And Verity said, yes, I do. And she might be getting her marking notes, which I don't know if we're allowed to see, but it'd be interesting to see if this teacher really did mark her down, because she was projected to get a 7 and she ended up getting a 6, and it really upset her because she worked really hard on it and have to do this folder, and I mean the work she put in, But I said to her at the time, art's going to be the one you're going to be disappointed in because all art teachers are arseholes. That's fact. That's a statement of fact. So it was that was a big disappointment for her. So now she's feeling a bit burnt out. She's done a first half. Is it half term or quarter term? I can never remember. First quarter of the term, half terms at Christmas. I think that's how they work it. And she was feeling a bit burnt out the other day. I said, well, what are you going to do? What else are you going to do? You're going to have to do something. You can't just leave and get a job, because she hears stories of me and Mum who, when we were 16, there was no, you didn't have to do A-levels. The people that did A-levels were the smarty pants. We were the nerds. And everybody else went and got a job at 16. I mean, I knew kids who were, had their own places at 18, and there were others who had kids, at the same time, so it was a very different. He was considered an adult at 16, and there were boys who left earlier. There was some kids who left at like 15, and I've had people on the internet tell me that didn't happen. It's funny because I saw it with my own eyes. Lads who had fathers who were working in the building trade or whatnot left. They just went, I'm not doing my exams, and I'm going to work with my father. And they're probably millionaires now. Same thing happened with the missus' brother, my brother-in-law. He left early to go and work with father-in-law, and he didn't get any exams, and he's doing very well for himself. And us, who got the A-levels, got the degrees, we're like poor church mice because nobody wants us. It's, fuck that up. So it's hard because Verity sees all this, and it's hard to encourage her to continue. But again, they have to continue to 18 now, whether it's doing A-levels or doing a course at a college, a vocational course or whatnot. They've got to do all that, without question. You can't just drop out and get a job. It's very hard, I think, for 16 to 18-year-olds to get employment because they're expected to do this extended thing. And then they push you to get go into degree education and get a massive debt, and Verity doesn't want to do that either. So, it's all stuff, isn't it? Andrew says, that seems very unfair to me. It is unfair. Payne said, we mainly had alcoholics for art teachers. I had Mr. Vintner, or Vintner. Vintner, that's to do with wine, isn't it? Isn't a vintner something to do? What was it? Vintner? I can never remember his name, but he was a hippie, and he had an earring in and a bit of beard. And he used to smoke rollies, and he was the one that convinced my friend not to do any exams. Well, you don't really need them, do you? I heard the conversation and I saw the penny drop in my friend. You could see it, and he dropped out. He didn't do any of his exams, and was suddenly very anti-education because he'd listened to The Wall once too many times. We don't need no education. But again, he was all right, because I think his father was in, I think he might have been a builder, and that idiot teacher, robbed a guy of an education, because he could have done so well. He was really smart, really clever, proper muso as well. Could play anything. He's been on some guitar. He played live with Spear of Destiny. I don't know if you've heard of them. And we kind of semi-connected a few years back via email, and that was a bit weird. But I don't know. Maybe it was. Who knows? Maybe it wasn't even him. It's hard to say, really. Anyone can create a Gmail account, can't they? So, Renee says Glenfiddich is nice. We're back to whiskey again. Lovely. Back to whiskey, eh? Well, that went well, didn't it? It's all gone quiet over there. Why do we do this? Why do I do it? I don't know. Why am I doing this? That is a very good question. So, dog cam, she's not here. She's got better things to do with her time. She doesn't want to hang around with a load of old losers. She's probably on our bed, having doggy dreams. Which is good. So yeah. So no dog cam, I'm afraid. So anyway, I shall turn the timestamp off, and I shall talk. I shall do a couple of movie reviews and a TV review, he said. But I'm going to record those. Hopefully my computer doesn't blow up, because oh, you know what it is. You know what the computers are like. They can be a bit funny, can't they? Because we ping. Oh, PayPal. What was that? Somebody giving me money? Surely not. I love it when people give me money. Oh God, you have to put in your code. Bing, here's a code, and you've got to put in the code, and you've got to give a stool sample, and then it's got to scan your left testicle. Oh, it's from Bandcamp. It's the money that I earned the other day. That's good now, because I've already spent the money on the postage. It's a shame you couldn't give it to me when the person bought the CD, Mr. Bandcamp, but you keep it for like 2 days, don't you? You keep it for 2 days. Why'd you do that? Is it so you can gain interest out of it, rather than at least sending me the postage costs so I can, don't have to spend my own money? Yeah, moan, whinge, moan. Remember, CDs are available. CDs are available from my Bandcamp page, music.darrenlock.com. Have fun. Buy it and give it to someone you don't like. Buy 2. There's only 2 left. And give it to someone you really don't like. There we go. Payne is so bored. He's going to bed. See, he just can't hack it. He can't handle the high octane amusements that is that's thrown out here. He just can't keep up. It's a white knuckle ride of tension and furious fun. Good night, Robert. We don't need him. We'll have fun with that. We'll have fun with that. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's doing his own thing. Have sweet dreams, Mr. Robert. And right, so I'm going to do a review. So I'm going to pretend now. I'm going to pretend that that this isn't happening. Deep breath. Hit record. Hello. I'm going to do a movie review. Yeah, and it's good because nobody watches those either. I was so lucky because Mubi, don't worry, I don't know what it is either, some sort of streaming platform, were giving out 30-day free trials, and I like free because I'm a cheap bastard. That's me demonetized or deregulated or whatever they call it these days. I'm cheap and I like free. But what caught my eye was the movie The Substance was on Mubi, and I really wanted to see that film. In fact, it was only last week. Was it last week or the week before last? I can't remember now. A fortnight ago, we were in Colchester and we was at the local art centre, and The Substance was on, and I said, oh, we could go and watch that, but the kids were too young, so we couldn't go and watch it, and I really wanted to see it. And for those who don't know what it is a, what would you call it? It works on so many levels. It's a horror film, I think, but it's a satirical horror film, directed by Coralie Farge, and it stars Demi Moore. Yes, that Demi Moore. And it's quite important that she's in it because of image. Margaret Qualley and Dennis Quaid, and it is probably one of the best films I've seen in the last 20 years. Yeah, it's that good. I purposefully avoided all spoilers, and I knew what the outline was. I'm going to talk outlines because I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it. So I'm going to talk in broad brushstrokes and not give any points away. What I will talk about is what is mentioned in the trailer. So if you've seen the trailer, you'll be up to speed with that. I won't go any further. I'll keep it vague. So yeah, it's a new film. It's out this year. It's a horror film, but it's more. There's more to it than that. Demi Moore plays a movie star who's, a star has faded, and on her 50th birthday, she's unceremoniously shown the door, and then she notices that, she overhears that they want somebody younger. It's age, you know, it's time to go. And this coincides with various incidents, and she's introduced to the substance, mysterious phone calls, you know, places where, you know, she has to go to a mysterious place to pick up the substance. And the idea is that you inject this stuff into you, and for 7 days there's a young you, and then 7 days later you go back to old you. So it's part Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, or Miss Hyde in this, you know, in this instance, part the Thing. And wow, there are so many references. There's nods to The Thing, there's nods to 2001, there's nods to The Shining, Requiem for a Dream. There's loads of like visual nods where the director's, you know, visually name checking other movies, and it's a roller coaster. And for a 2 hour 20 minutes, I think it is, there's not an ounce of fat on it. It's a white knuckle ride. And yeah, as the story unfolds, there are certain plot points that are obvious. You know, well, I actually called what I said to the missus, I think this is what's going to happen. You know, I think this is the thing. But it's how you get there, and it is brutal. I guess a lot of the practical effects are very, very good, and it is very reminiscent to those kind of old body horror films of the 80s, stuff like The Beyond and Society, material like that. Not Cronenberg so much. Whenever people talk body horror, they talk Cronenberg, and no, it's more visceral than that. It's incredibly visceral, and it is a treatise on Hollywood, on ageism, on getting old, on vanity, on, you know, the grass is greener on the other side. It's the generation, the gap between the generations, and the resentment that can bring. Sexism, you know, there's so many topics that it ticks off, that it covers, and it ticks off its list, and it is head spinning. And yeah, I just thought it was very, very powerful, and it's a lot to think about. And Demi Moore is really good in it, and I don't know if she'll get an Oscar nod because it is a horror film, but she deserves, you know, she plays it really straight where everything else is kind of surreal and bonkers. And Margaret Qualley plays like the younger version of her. She is the daughter of Andy McDowell, funny enough, though I don't think it'd have worked if Andy McDowell had played the older character, Elizabeth. But yeah, both actresses are really good, and you know, there's a lot of exposure, if you know what I mean. But you need it because of the body horror. It uses nudity for plot points. You need to see what's happening. And again, for Demi Moore, she's 63, I think she is, and she is, you know, she's doing it, and she was playing 50-year-old, and you know, it was really, really good. I really liked it, and it was just one of those. It reminded me of something from the 80s, something that, you know, a throwback that you don't see too often, because it took chances and it didn't care, about all the things that the mainstream are obsessed with. It just told a simple story brutally, but it covered all the necessary points, and you walk away with it thinking, yeah, if there was such a thing, that there could be a younger me, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. You'd say no, not doing that. And it all fits together really nicely. I thought it was great fun, and you know, gory, and bits where you go, oh, and delightfully bonkers. And the finale, the last sequence, is just, again, it's up there with that crazy effects laden stuff. Hello, is it working? It obviously doesn't like me recording and streaming at the same time. It used to. This is a problem with OBS, and I won't be doing that again. I wonder if the stream is okay, if what I've recorded. I wonder if that's all stuttery, because if it is, then I've wasted my time. And that means, let's have a look. Yeah, that's a load of crap as well. Oh, that's a shame. It used to be able to manage it. Oh, you're a piece of crap, you are. Ah well, at least we gave it a go. No, I haven't tried that for a while. It did used to work when I used to be able to. So I'll have to just clip it. I'll have to just do it again. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered with any of this, to be honest. Why am I bothering? Oh dear, nobody wants to talk, and I just sit here babbling on. So, what's the point? I might as well just sit here and record it, and just have me talking, and then upload it, and then you won't even know that I'm here, you know, because we haven't. Is there even an audience? I probably isn't. I bet I've killed the audience. There's 12 people that are suffering. Good. It went all slow. Yeah, it's because I was trying to record the stream. I need to do some tests on that. This is this OBS version that I'm using. It used to be able to do it, but obviously not anymore. It obviously can't manage it. Output. What does it say for recording? Yeah. I wonder why it can't do that. I'll do some tests privately and see if I can fix that. There might be a way of doing it. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter, does it? Good thing is I can go in at a later date and just edit that bit out, so no one's going to notice. It will just futz for a bit and then go back to normal. So nothing lost, which is good. Nothing lost, which is good.